This very character has given rise to men that never get to apologize to their wives when they are wrong. This very character has given rise to men that never Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Jessie as always. How are you doing? Hope you are safe. Hope you are well. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the bad parenting styles and so many mistakes our African/Nigerian parents make while they were raising us, while they were grooming us to become adults or better adults. If you are born and raised by a typical Nigerian or an African parent, you will certainly be able to relate to everything I'm going to be talking right here on this video. And one of the mistakes our parents made while they were raising us is, one, our parents are so trusting, they are so unobservant. So many of the child molestation that their children or their girl child experience is done right under their nose, and they couldn't see the red flag, they couldn't see the signal, they pay less attention to some of the things that the girl child does that were not done initially. For example, why should your child suddenly become so quiet? Why should your daughter suddenly started isolating herself? Why should your daughter suddenly started keeping to herself? Suddenly, she doesn't want to eat. Suddenly, she becomes so scared when she sees a particular uncle or a particular person, and you are not saying this that something is wrong. Why should you send your child to a particular uncle and she always resists? She tries to resist. She tries to say no. She tries to make you understand why she does not want to go to that uncle's house, uncle's room, but yet you will keep sending her, go and collect my change from Uncle B. Go and get water from Uncle B. Go and call Uncle B. It is not normal. It is absolutely not okay. Please, this point should be taken so seriously, because 60 to 80% of the female children are molested right in their houses, and yet our parents do not know about it. Yet our parents did not raise an eyebrow towards some certain changes that their female children exhibit, or their children generally exhibit. When your daughter begins to hate certain things she likes or she loves, that should make you think that something is actually not right. When your daughter decides to keep away from certain people, what you ought to do is to make her understand or find out why she's acting the way she's doing. But no, rather you will scold at the child, or why are you acting this way towards Uncle B? Why are you not greeting Uncle B? Have you bothered to ask that child why she doesn't want to have anything to do with Uncle B or Uncle A? Even Auntie C. The aunties are also not left out in this. Have you bothered to ask your children why they do not want to associate with a particular person, be it a family, be it a stranger? Sometimes even when the children summon up the courage to talk to us as parents, they have been shut up, they have been ignored, they have been taken for granted, or she's just a child attitude. This shouldn't be so. So it is time that we, the 21st century parent, start taking notice of some little things that our children does that we think that actually do not matter. It is awkward where your children have to resolve to go to a total stranger to talk to them. So please, we, the 21st century parents, have to be observant. We have to draw very close to our children to enable them to open up, to tell us things that is actually happening or we don't know about. It is also not okay to always leave your children under the guidance of strangers because you are actually busy. You are running your business or going for your business, or you have a tight schedule with your work. there should be a balance between your children, creating time for your children, and also your work or businesses. The number 2 point or mistake our parents make or made is the fact that there was no sex education. You rarely hear an African parent talk to you about sex education. You rarely hear a typical Nigerian parent talk to you about intimate relationship. The highest you are going to get from them is, do not go close to a man. The moment a man touches you like this, you're automatically pregnant. So many of you can relate to what I am saying. That is the much our parents said to us while we were growing up. Our parents never talked to us about puberty. They never enlightened us about the puberty changes, what happens, what is expected, or why some things are not the way they used to be in our childhood. It was seen as a taboo for them to talk about relationship, for them to talk about intimacy, for them to talk about sex. Even calling the private part is also a very big problem for them. Anything that has to do with the opposite sex was totally avoided to the core. We, the new generation parent, have to be embracing. We have to be open. We have to be close to our children. We have to play the part of a parent, as a bestie, as a friend, every role that you know that a child needs or want to have from an outsider. When you are open to talking about sex, education, and relationship generally with your children, it boosts their morale, it boosts their confidence. If a child can talk about her sex life with you, she can eventually tell you everything. So this is why we need to open up. This is why we need to be embracing towards our children to enable them tell us things that they ought to, or some of the problem that they go through as adolescents. Please, if you have not been doing this, it is time we start. Please educate your children on sex education. There is no harm. Let you be the first person to tell them about their sexual organs, about their puberty, about the changes they go through or might go through at the cause of those changes. And sincerely, they'll always come back to you to tell you anything and everything. So the number 3 point or mistakes that our African parents made was, our African parents never get to apologize to their kids. Please, I don't know of you. You rarely can see an African parent, I am a Nigerian, come to tell you that he or she is sorry for where it's just like expecting manna to fall down from heaven. Even when our parents knew they were wrong, even when they understand that they went to the extreme or they later find out the truth, you can't see them come to that child and say, oh, I'm sorry, it is my fault. It's that I acted this way, I shouldn't have done that. No. Our African parents see themselves as king, queens, who are ruling their mini kingdoms. Our African parents never get to apologize to their kids. As in, our African parent does well in finding wrongs done by other persons, but they will never turn on the lens or the torchlight towards themselves to find out what them themselves are doing that is not in place. Even when they eventually find out that what they did or say is not right. How many African parents then would come to their children and say, I'm sorry? And even presently now, how many of them? This very character has given rise to men that never get to apologize to their wives when they are wrong. This very character has given rise to men that never sees it as a right thing to apologize to anyone when they are wrong. Neither do they accept their wrongs from the wives. There is pride and dignity in taking responsibility for your actions. It is okay to say, it is my bad. It is my fault. This thing didn't go well. This thing happened the way it happened. It is very okay to say that. We are human and we are bound to make mistakes. It will not kill you if you accept that you are wrong. And I hope that we, the 21st century parents, learn this and do better. Our African parents are professionals when it comes to comparing their children with other children. Yes. You will always get to hear our parents say to Nkem, Michael can read at the age of 2. Michael can speak very well. Michael did this, you can do this, you can do that. You forget the fact that children grow at different pace. Children learn differently. They learn with different learning styles. You forget the fact that we have very intelligent kids and we also have average kids. There's no reason to compare your child performance to other kids. Let them grow at their own pace. Keep comparing our children, that our children is this, our children is not that, forgetting the fact that you as a parent, that your mates are Dangote, your mates are commissioner and ministers. You forget the fact that your mates are managers to a very big company. We the parents forget the fact that our mates also are professors somewhere in the university. We forget the fact that some of our mates or our mates too are doing so well in different life endeavors where they find themselves. But yet, we have not removed the peg in our own eyes, but we want to remove the spark from the eyes of our children. Always remember that unhealthy comparison is the fastest way to kill a child's morale. Another mistake that we or the African parents made or makes is the fact that we are so used to beating that we resolve that beating is the only corrective measure we can use on our children. If you are from Africa and you don't know what I am saying, then I don't know what part of Africa you were born. Our parents believe that beating a child is the super corrective measure one can use. Please, to the 21st century parents, I want us to know that there are other ways which we can discipline our children. We can use the naughty corner. The naughty corner simply means asking the child to go to a particular side of the room where he or she will be alone from the siblings. Turning on the television, their favorite channels, is also a form of punishment. Depriving them of that thing you know that they love most is also a way to correct them. Isolation, the likes. It does not always have to be beating. This is another very serious and interesting point. Our parents never get to say I love you or use word of encouragement on the children. From my childhood till now that I'm making this video, I have never heard my parents in any way at any point in my life use the word I love you, just like we see on Bollywood, especially with the American kids or the Western words. I have never seen an African parent kiss their children on the forehead and say, I love you. I know very well that my parents loves me. That I can say. But using those words of affirmation is what I rarely get from them. There is no harm when you tell your child, I'm proud of you. There is no harm when you look at your child and say, I love you, you are amazing, you are great, you have a great future. It doesn't take anything from you when you use words of affirmation on the kids. Most times our African parents gift us with different things, that is their own way of telling their kids that they love them. But we also forget the fact that the chocolate you give to a child when she was 5 years, in the next 20 years, she might not remember it. She might not have value for that particular chocolate, lollipop, candy, or toys you bought for her or him. But words of affirmation is going to go a long way into that child's lives and even down to the grave, because the child will never forget those words, those positive words you continuously used on her or him. Our children need validation from us. It makes them stand up on their feet. It boosts their morals. It boosts their self-confidence. Don't forget that the lollipop, the candy, the chocolates, the toys you bought for your kids might not be valued in the next 20 years of their lives. But those positive words you live or you continuously shower on them is going to make a positive impact on them, and they will never, ever forget those kind words. Remember that there is power in the tongue. The power of both life and death lies in the tongue. So we have to be careful which of them we use on our children. Are we using the power of life on them? Or are we using the power of death on our children? Tell them you are proud to be their parents. Look into their eyes and tell them you see greatness in them. Look at them, hold their hands and tell them that you sure know that they are going to make you proud. Use those amazing words. This words grows with them and certainly goes down to the grave with them. We should always use positive words and encouragement on our children. Another very common mistake our Nigerian and Africa parents in general makes is yelling, scolding, and screaming at the top of their voices. Our parents feel that the best way for them to express their anger, their frustration, their disappointment, their displeasure is to scream at the top of their voices and using negative and demeaning language like idiot, bastard, isieru, good for nothing child. You don't even have a future. Your future is dead. How I regret giving birth to you. You hear some languages that you wonder, is this actually coming from the biological parents of those children? You are good for nothing. You are stupid. You amount to nothing. You are a lazy ass. Forgetting that the power of life is always in our tongue. You, as parents, are the children, God on earth. And it is also advisable that we shouldn't treat issues at the heat of it. We should take our time, recollect, think properly to enable us handle the issue at hand the way it ought to be, without using those foul languages, without using demeaning languages, without using negative words on our words or on our children. And I want us to always remember that whatever we confess on a child actually becomes their reality. And I ask, do you want your child to turn out to become idiots? Do you want that child to turn out becoming good for nothing, becoming a lazy ass, just as you have called the child in your anger? If you don't want any of such thing to become the child's reality, then we have to use positive words on them. Then we ought to be able to control our anger no matter the level of provocation. So we should be careful generally on the kind of words we use, be it on our children, be it on our domestic staff, be it on our colleagues or people, because this word always have a way of coming back. And when these people hears it, they also give it out to others. Finally, I'm going to be ending this video by saying that we as parents need to be sensitive in the behavioral pattern of our children, such as sudden quietness, sudden lack of interest, sudden rebellion, sudden refusal. Those who molest our girls are always within our houses. Please, do not let your children to seek advice from neighbors, from strangers, from outsiders, and that is why we need to play our role as both the parent and also their best friends. Hope this video helps you. I hope we do better than what our African parents did in their time. Thank you so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, like, share, and leave your comment on the comment section. See you